Welcome back, this is Jared again from Decorquip. We're going to run through how to order made-to-measure roller blinds online. So once you're logged into your online account, the first step is to click the Add New Order button. This will load up a new page where you can start configuring the order details. So we've got your account address here and the delivery address here. You can change the delivery address if required, and then once you've checked that's all correct, you can start specifying the order information down here. The customer order number box, which I've just clicked in, is mandatory, so you've got to fill something in here. So I'm just going to put in test. You don't have to put anything in customer reference unless you want to. And once you've done that, you click next. And then add new blind. This then loads up a new page where we can start configuring the blind. Okay, so we're going to choose roller from this drop down list here. Loads up a new set of options. And once this is loaded, we can start running through and specifying everything we need for the blind. The first step is to choose whether your measurements are in metric, millimeters, or imperial in inches. I'm going to use metric, and we choose whether the sizes we're going to enter in are recess size, blind size, or cloth size. I'm going to leave it as recess and just enter in my sizes. And then if you've got the install height, you enter in the install height, so I'm going to put in 2.5 meters. Now the chain length automatically defaults to the drop of the blind. You'll have to change this to make sure it complies to the child safety regulations. So in this case, to make the chain 1.5 meters above the floor, I'm going to change the chain drop to 1000 millimeters. We can now choose the fabric. I'm going to choose relay white. You can either scroll through the list or you can just hit R on your keyboard and it'll take you straight down to the R section. So I'm just going to find relay white, which is there. And then it automatically updates the price group next to it. And now the location, I'm going to enter in as bedroom. You can enter in whatever you want here, and it just prints out on the sticker on the label to make it easier for when you're fitting. The instructions box is for any instructions you want to add to the blind, which you can't add using this table here. One popular example of that is if you want the blind reverse rolled. So I'm just going to type in reverse rolled. You can type in whatever you want into this box, and before the order is processed, this will be checked by our team. So if you want to make any notes, just to double check anything, do that here. We can now start running through this list. The first option here is control type, and if you can see currently it's got chain control tension system specified. If you want to change that, you tick this little button here, and then you can choose from this drop down list. Here you've got chain control breakaway system, which is when you want to have a breakaway connector, chain control tension system, which is supplied with the perm holder standard, child safety not applicable, and that's when you're going into offices, laboratories, etc., where children aged 0 to 42 months aren't likely to have access. And then finally there's inherently child safety control. You'd specify that for a blind which doesn't have the operating loop, chain or cord, such as spring operated or crank. I'm going to leave this on chain control tension system. You then choose your control from this drop down list, and it defaults to the right hand sidewinder in white, but you can choose either left hand or crank gearbox, slow up spring, etc. I'm going to leave this on right hand sidewinder. Then choose your tube size. You've got the different sizes here, 32, 38, 45 and 55. For this size of blind, I'm going to leave it at 32mm. If you're not sure which size to specify, this will be checked by our team. So if you specified a big blind but only specified a 32mm tube, they'll automatically change that to a heavier tube to make sure it's man enough for the blind. Then choose your finish. This defaults to straight sewn, but then you can choose whether you go fabric only or eyelets, or if you want to have a shape, then you can choose that here. Or if you want to specify a senses bottom bar, you just choose that from this list. I'm going to change this to a round white bottom bar. As you can see, that's now changed in this table. If you make a change which adds anything to the price, you'll see it you show on this column here, and it automatically updates the pricing here. If you've chosen shape, you can choose your braid from this list, and if necessary, the pole from this list here. Likewise finials, or if there's any extra options. This is we're looking for a pull for any description, and another popular option from this list is side guide wires. So if you want to have the steel wires running down the side of the blind, you can specify that here. So I'm going to choose that. You can see it's automatically updated and there. If you like to add a back bar to the order, you can do that here. Just specify include back bar, and again it automatically updates the price. Then the final step is to add the chain. So this defaults to plastic 4.5x6, which is just a standard plastic chain. You can change to a nickel plated steel, which is this one here, or any of the other options we've got. So I'm going to change this to our grey nickel chain, and then we're done. So just to recap, you first of all choose your blind type from the drop down list, fill out all the sizes and the type of measurement you've got, choose the fabric, specify a location if necessary and any instructions, and fill out this form here. If you can't find what you're looking for in this form, for example there's a braid that isn't in the list, put that in this instructions box and we'll pick that up when we process the order. So once we've checked all the details, you click save. This will take you back to one of the screens we saw earlier. Great, so we've now got this blind specified here in the list, and we've got two options. Either we can add another blind, or we can click save to go back to the screen and place the order. So if you want to add another blind, you just hit add new blind. It will load up the screen we saw a few minutes ago, and just fill out the details. So I'm just going to run through this quickly, change the sizes. Save this just as standard blind. This will add it to the order, and then I'm going to place the order. So you can see we've got both blinds listed here in this list. You've got an overview of the width and drop, the type of measurement, the type of the blind, the fabric, and then the price. You can delete any of these lines or copy them or edit them by ticking this little button here, then using these three buttons. Once you're happy with the order, you can click save. Then takes you back to the main screen, which we saw when we first logged in. And we've got this order listed here in a red line. Now you can either use this for quoting purposes, so you click print, you'll get an overview, or you can amend it, view it, delete it, or if you've got a pro forma account, pay for it. If you've got a credit account, you won't have this pay order button, you'll just have a submit button. So according to whether you've got a credit or pro forma account, either hit pay order or submit to place the order. If you hit pay order, it'll load up a new screen which takes you to payment, the SagePay payment system. If you hit submit, it will give you a message. You confirm you want to submit the order, and that order comes straight through onto our system. It can then be put through to the factory. So that's how you place an order for roller blinds on Blind Data Online. Thanks a lot for watching. Any questions, get in touch. Thank you.